Hello, I'm David Carter, and today I'm talking about the idea of patience, my friends. Patience is very successful, and patience is needed for your success in life. And one thing I'm going to do today is relate to Stanislaus Wawrinka. For you who are not too familiar with tennis, this is a tennis example, and this can relate to many of our lives too. Stanislaus Wawrinka, or some in the tennis community we call him Stan the Man. I call him the Warrior because his name is spelled Wawrinka, so War with a W there, ear. Um, if you're not familiar with him, he is the man who is behind Roger Federer in the rankings, and he's been shadowed by him all throughout his career. Ever since he turned pro 2001, it was a long time ago. I don't really know exactly, but he's been under the radar the whole time, and it's taken him a long time to get going with his career. Um, he was a 2014 Australian Open champion, which really did put him on that map. That proliferated him. He was prevalent. He was well known after that point. I mean, still was well known before that point, but that's really what brought him into um, the top five in men's tennis. Interesting background about him. Before the 2014, before winning the Australian Open in 2014, he never surpassed Roger Federer in the rankings, but he did. Um, he was patient. I watched an interview on him on the ATP World Tour YouTube account, and he's like how he was patient with himself. He wasn't. It wasn't until he was 28 till he won his first Grand Slam, and we saw the progress. We see the progression of his career from a 23-year-old and older. Um, but let's point out that the year before, 2013, he faced Djokovic in an epic fourth round match at the Australian Open. Djokovic went crazy when he won it. He tore his shirt off and did this beast move when he won the champion or when he won the Australia. That would led him to win the Australian Open. But Wawrinka, he didn't give up. That's my thing. He just kept going. He was patient. The next year, he gets Djokovic right where he wants him. And the quarterfinal match, this time he's seeded 8th. And so he automatically gets to the quarterfinals without having to play another top 8 player. And he beat him the hard way. Djokovic made two simple mistakes, 30 all in the fifth set. He served and volley, missed the ball, and then Ricky did this weird drop shot thing, and Djokovic was gonna try to get to it, but he hit it out. Enrique proved to us what he can do. Not only did he beat Djokovic, he then went on to beat Berdych, and then he went on to beat Rafael Nadal in the final. Even though Nadal had blisters and wasn't, I mean, he was still playing well, but he wasn't at his full level, per se. Well, maybe he was. I mean, what Rinka did was still amazing. Um, it's just basically the idea of how he was able to move so far in his career because he never gave up. He was patient, my friends. Patience is one of the ingredients to success. When you're patient with yourself and when you're patient with what you're doing and it's patience for the right cause, then you're living the life. You're living on the highest part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Very patient man. He was humble. He was even humble when he won. He was very calm. He was collective, and he showed true emotion. He showed greatness. What Wawrinka did was almost. I don't know if I necessarily put it on the level that Murray was able to do when his first Grand Slam at the U.S. Open in 2012, but he proved something that was very different from from other tennis players, and that was he wasn't supposed to win a Grand Slam if you think about it. Murray was supposed to. The expectations were there, but for Stan, I mean, he had all this talent, but people weren't really considering him in the top 5 or top 10 players. he blossomed. He um, overtook Roger Federer for the rankings for a while when he won the Australian Open. That took him to number 3 in the rankings, and he's established himself as a solid player ever since then. He went on to win Monte Carlo, a clay court tournament, by defeating Roger Federer in the final in 3 sets. He went to the quarters, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open. He got destroyed in the first round of Roland Garros, which it is what it is. Um, and now he is with Roger Federer trying to win the Davis Cup. And it would be the first time the Swiss would ever win it if they were able to defeat a strong, I mean, a very deep French squad that may have potential, that has potential to beat Switzerland if Tsonga, I don't know what their lineups are, if Tsonga and Monfils show up and play very well. To wait and see. But Rinka has had this interesting effect on the tennis court this year. He's been the first guy in a while to win a Grand Slam outside of the top 3, top 4 for a long time. I think he's a first Grand Slam winner to win outside the top 4 since I believe 2009 when Del Potro won. Quote me if I'm wrong. And then it's had an interesting effect on the tennis field because the U.S. Open a couple weeks back ago, Marin Cilic, coming in, he was ranked like 16 or so, somewhere around there, 15, 16, 17, and he won the U.S. Open. So it's had this interesting effect where other players are going to be able to believe in themselves and make this jump to the next level of winning a Grand Slam. Nishikori made it to the final. He's the hero of Japan, tennis-wise. That was great to see him make to the final because it's really put him on the map. And he's even though before he put himself out there as the best, he established himself as the best Asian tennis player. Now he's even further established himself as the best Asian tennis player. Right now, I'd say he's probably the best Asian tennis player to ever play the game. He has the highest ranking of any Asian. He's the world number 8, and he's making strides. And now we have this new generation of tennis players like Grigor Dimitrov, 23, Raonic, 23, I believe, Dolgopolov, 24, 25-ish. We have all these new guys stepping up in the sport, and I kind of feel like it's had it's part of almost the Rinka effect, where we see like these new players saying, well, if that guy did it, if he went to the monument of the sport of winning a Grand Slam, why can't we do it? And that brings to my point about how if we're patient, if we're humble, if we wait, if we work hard with the right attitude and are willing to do it for years, I'm not talking about like a year or two, I'm talking about 5, 6, 7 years, then, and only then, will you get the fruits of your glory, the fruits of your labor. You'll get what you deserve in life. The road to success isn't easy. It's full of pain. It's full of hardship. But the road to glory, when you get there, it feels amazing. I don't know, I wouldn't say I've experienced anything too necessarily super great in my life. I'm a Christian, so having God on my side is a great thing to have. But I'm only 18 years old. I'm turning 19 a couple days from now. I'm looking forward to my birthday. But I'm still so young, so I feel like whatever stage you are in life, if you've already done something great that you remember or whatnot, you just have to be patient with yourself if you haven't achieved it yet. You just have to remember to keep an open mind and learn. I'm not gonna lie. One thing I think about successful people is that there's this idea of hard work. There's this insane desire to work extremely hard and achieve great things. You just want to keep working hard. It's not necessarily perfection, but it's more of like this idea that you just want to be one of the best at what you're doing. You want to do not necessarily one of the best, but you want to do the best at what you're doing. You want to reach your potential there, and you don't stop. I've gotten to the point with school where I've gotten into a habit where I just want to keep on working hard. I don't know how it works. It just is like when I've offered my education for a while, I want to get back into it and keep on working hard. Um, it's taken me a while to get to that point, but sometimes I have so much homework to do. I just want to keep going. If I'm not continually practicing, and I mean studying like for a test 3 days in advance, then I'm not getting the fruits of my labor. I'm not getting that A on that test. Same with tennis or anything in life. If you're not working every day, then you're not going to be really experiencing the true fruits of your labor. And that's what Rinka proved to us, is like how he was able to work so hard and was able to make it to glory. One player I would love to see win a Grand Slam would be David Ferrer, because his work ethic is insane. I mean, he's such a hard worker. I model my tennis game off of him. I just have this mentality where I just want to play the point to the end, to the end, to the end. It's unfortunate for him because he's 5'9", so he's undersized, and that's affected his tennis career in a negative fashion. If he was like 6'1", maybe more variety, you probably would have more results. But that's still what if. So I don't even know if I should say that, but you also have to factor in that he's living in an era of greatness with players like Nadal, Djokovic, Federer, Murray. It's just like a hard time to be a tennis player. Guys, I hope you like this video. This is basically me talking about why you need to be patient in life and why patience will make your dreams a reality. Tell me what you think. I'm gonna put my blog link down in the description box. I always like doing this for some reason, like pointing down like the description down here. You guys should check it out. Tell me what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day.